So when we speak of Lilith in Virgo or Lilith in the sixth house, we speak of Lilith is the obsessive professionalist. Because you understand that Virgo deal with the intelligent, the intellect, the mind. And Virgo deal with being the servant and the health. And so when we talking about Lilith here, the black moon, the night master in the bedroom, she is a servant. She do low degrading sex. So those who have displacements, their thinking will be low degraded sex and be so submissive to their partner that their partner do anything they want to do. Might do the sex slave thing when they had the whip. Pah, they do anything. So this so low degrading sex. So we say lit up in the sixth house of Virgo. They can also suffer from sexual shame and being depressed and stressed, and also suicidal thoughts if they don't feel like they living up to the profession of life. So these people have high expectations, and it's hard for them to express themselves emotionally. And so the thing is about these people, they're very sensitive though, and they hide a lot within their whole being, their earthly body, or back in their deep abyss, which means unconscious mind. That's this is their natural instinct. They're very hypercritical because they want to be so perfect, but they have a strong drive to be very perfect and to live up to other people's expectations and standards. And this is how they fail. Their parents probably was strict, want to see them do the best, and all type of stuff like that. Stay on them because they want to see them do good. And so now this lead to them to have a failure mind state and very destructive and get out of control type of vibe. And so they didn't did something right as kids. They felt like failure. They didn't feel good. They had low self-esteem. So those who have displacement, lit up in the sixth house or Virgo, this is definitely you. And so these people can rebel against sticking to a routine, or rebel against being controlled, or being rebellious against planning and logical thinking. And they don't take things at face value, even though they got a strong intellect and they're highly intelligent and also intuitive, where they like a physical empath, a medical empath, where they can pick up on energy, they can feel other people pain in their body. But sometimes their Lilith will go against that. So once they control it or do something to put it in perspective or in alignment with the positive upside of life, this is how they win. They could be the truly physical empaths of the world, medical empaths. So this means that since they're so righteous and could be so self-righteous and so professionals, that they can be so obsessed with what is good and what is right and things like that. And they can be so extremely critical, very critical towards others and turn people off. And they wonder why people are so angry at them, because this is in their deep unconscious mind. It's nasty, a part of them. And so they can be so hypercritical or critical towards others until others run, and they might not even know the reason why, because so nasty a part of them. That's why they have to control this part of them. And these type of people can analyze people so much. You're talking little in the sixth house and little in Virgo. They can analyze people so much until they want to judge everybody. And they can always see the negative side of people instead of the good side, because this is little, want to be the judge. You know what I mean? And also they can judge themselves so much, and two, they can be so critical till they can have so much low self-esteem until they can commit suicide. So this can be a very mental health placement when Lilith is all balanced. They can be like serial killers in their mind because they want to do the right thing, and they might want to hold grudges against all those who don't do the right thing. So this is why it's so critical right here. And they could, Virgo energy, they keep secrets when it comes to sex within them, within their being, which means that the Lilith, it can either be afraid to have sex and they can be isolated for a long time, or these people can bring it out and be like a wild horse with sex. And so, and they can criticize you for not even doing sex right or wrong. I mean, they can fantasize of them like you just smashing them in sex, just smashing while they so submitting to you. You know what I mean? Because they enjoy that submitting to you, and they enjoy that you fucking them hard and having sex hard with them and stuff like that, or vice versa. Or they won't enjoy it, or they might not have sex, or they might always be, you know what I'm saying, the ones who want to be so pure till they don't want sex. So these are the type of people we dealing with. And so these people could be so out of balance until they just avoid the spiritual essence of who they are, which means spirituality. And sometimes their family could be like not into no religion, into nothing. That I mean, their family could be so wild and so, so different. And so with this being said, I said they can be. That don't mean that their family actually doing it, but some people with this placement, their family are. So this is how it operates. But this placement here, though, it's just saying that these people have to relax their thoughts, relax their minds, and meditate so they can get themselves right. So if they relax and they enjoy themselves being alive and accept themselves for who they are and try not to be so perfect, they will win in this life because they're good at working. They always have something to do. They are good at doing little small favors for people and always want to serve you and help you. And so with this, as long as they don't go overboard or to the screen, because they can go to the screen, and once they convince of something, they stay very convinced of something. So once they whatever they want to be, once they feel so convincing, you can't stop them. Can't stop these people. And so the night master, which is Lilith in Virgo or the sixth house, want to be the best at everything and get its satisfaction and feel so good when it achieves something, its profession, or it want to be the expert and the professional of everything. And these people can downplay everything. And the thing is about these people, they got to have a purpose. They got to have a task. If they don't, they can be rebellious. They can go into the night master. And the night master is what put them into the state where they don't care about your needs because they care more about themselves. And so they can be very selfish in this point. And they can look at love as something where it's intellectual or mathematics instead of tapping into their soul. And this is how they fail. And so these people could be the ones who could be very practical and be all about the money and all about them, how they're going to accomplish things. And when it comes to health, they can overeat, overdo this, or they can be so health conscious until they get on you by everything and try to eat so perfect until they go overboard, until they drive themselves crazy. Or they can be so spiritual until they can't even create that balance in their life. And they can have so many traumatized sex experiences and go through so much until they don't even have sex, because this is what this deals with. And these type of people can have no drive about themselves, no passion about themselves, and not even on point right here. And they slip a lot, make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, they can go crazy off the wall and blame it on somebody else, even though they made a mistake, and they can take it out on themselves. So mental health for this placement is very important so they can get their body right and everything else right. Because once they get their mind right, their spirit is right. They can pick up on energy. Like when people sick, they can pick up on everybody's energy and can feel what other people feel. So they can very much be very much a psychic empath, for the physical, medical empath, where they know what's wrong with a person. And they can also be like a problem solver. But as long as they stuck in their night master and let it take control, they will lose out on all things, and they can be very suicidal and very harmful and destructive towards themselves and their health. And so these people can be in fear when it comes to doing the right thing, in shame when it comes to do the right thing, or anger when it comes to do the right thing, or fear of rejection if they don't do the right thing, or if you don't do the right thing, and they can go crazy. And you can be very revengeful when it's come to justice because you ain't did the right thing, or revengeful upon themselves. And so this placement here could be the professionalist so much until they can tear themselves down. But they also talking about sex. They could be very aggressive and just go off, or they could fear it, or they could be ashamed when they deal with it, or in anger when dealing with people. And also they can reject it and be very revengeful if you take their purity for weakness. Like you have sex with them and you don't live up to being with them or nothing like that, they can be revengeful because you just had sex with them and you didn't marry them, or you didn't, stick with them. Since Virgo deal with health, medicine, and mathematics and science, this is what it be, beautiful people. This is what it be. If they don't master this placement, their health, their medicine, their mathematics and science will be destructive towards them. And they will use that in everything, and it will destroy them. But if they master this placement, they could be the scientists of the world. They could be your healers, not only mentally, but not only spiritually, but all around. And they could be the ones as problem solvers. They could be the ones like magical. They can be like your heroes, the ones who bring the medicine, herbal healing, and things like that, and be good in science and mathematics. So they definitely are your counselor, your advisors, and the ones who will serve you and help you. Now, this is definitely what it be. The Virgo love to have his obligation and duty on point and love to be neat. And if the night monsters take over, it don't care about being neat, or it want to be neat to the screen, want to do everything to the screen, be clean to the screen. And if you're not neat, they can get on you and tear you down. And now you want to get revenge upon a person with Lilith and Virgo or the 6th house. Now, with this being said, that's all I have to say. Ashe.